Hello everyone. Let me ask you a question. What is something you do every single day? You might say eating, sleeping, perhaps going to school. Yes, these are correct answers, but let me offer you one more. Discovering. I'm sure that one way or another, you have all discovered a passion at some point in your lives. One of my strongest passions is music. Well, I've seen passions being neglected or unnoticed, but when they have the full potential to become something amazing. That is why today I would like to initiate a path for you to discover your own passions and nurture them into rewarding accomplishments. As I mentioned, one of my strongest passions is music, both listening to it and playing it. I've been playing the violin for 8 years now, and I am a part of various commitments related to it. So, I first laid my hands on the violin as a clueless 6-year-old, and now this wooden box has become inseparable from my identity. This bond with the violin, however, it did not occur overnight. There were definitely some challenging moments, but this is what allowed me to develop a love for the instrument. And today, over the course of my journey, I have discovered a 5-step pattern to discovering and developing your own passions. And today, I would like to introduce that to you. The first step is reflecting. Your passion should align with what you enjoy the most and what you feel most comfortable with. And so take the time to reflect on what you enjoy, what makes you happy, what would you like to commit to, and asking such introspective questions will guide you toward the right passion. For me, this initial discovery was the violin. I always had a particular affinity for music and the arts. So my childhood until the age of 6, it involved a lot of such activities, like I tried playing the piano, I tried singing, and even attempted ballet. But none of these activities truly appealed to me. Until one day, I visited my friend's house, where I picked the violin up for the first time in my life, and something just clicked. And that night, I asked my mom if I could take violin lessons, and this marked the beginning of my journey and my initial discovery. The key here is to expose yourself to a variety of activities, and to select something that you're most drawn to. And asking such introspective questions will determine the right passion for you. Step 2 is acquainting yourself with the activity. To develop, you need to recognize what you need to develop on, and to do that, you need to know enough about the activity to assess yourself. So, in other words, learn the basics. After my first few lessons, I grasped the fundamentals of learning, playing the violin, like holding the bow or positioning my fingers. And I spent days experimenting with the violin and exploring its sounds and each part of the instrument. And over time, at some point, I was able to listen to my sound and determine what was wrong with it. And like this, I acquired a sufficient amount of knowledge to know what is right and wrong with my playing. Like, if my intonation sounded off, I would fix it, and if I misplayed a note in a sheet music, I would correct it right away. And this step gives you a taste of what the activity is like, and you will determine clear goals for yourself soon. Now that we're familiar with the basics, it's time to set goals for yourself. Goals give you a sense of motivation and hence progress. And remember that goals can be of any size, and it doesn't matter if you start small. My goals amplified with my skills in playing the violin. At first, when I started, my goals were rather small, like mastering a simple skill or memorizing a simple piece. But as my skills in playing the violin increased, so did my goals, like winning a competition or passing an audition. And achieving each goal gave me the motivation to continue, with each goal seeming more achievable than the one before. Also, remember that failure can be a great opportunity for you to set goals on yourself. In my case, I failed my first ever orchestra audition in 3rd grade. It was definitely a discouraging experience watching all my friends play while I couldn't. Then I didn't give up. But 3 years later, when I entered middle school and learned that there was a middle school orchestra, I was determined to make it into the group this time. Over the 3-year interval, my skills had improved quite a lot, but I also put in a lot of effort practicing every day. And in the end, my efforts paid off, and I made it into the group. Recently, I made it one of my goals to perfect a piece I'm working on and make a successful performance. And each goal, regardless of size or type, gave me the motivation to continue. And I can assure that these goals will keep you on track and make sure you face immense development. And consider your goals as quests in a video game. Each success gives you the motivation to continue and continue on with the game. Step 4 of the process is once again reflecting, but this time it's about reflecting on your progress. Imagine painting a picture and working on a specific part of the picture in a small area of the canvas. Here and then you would have to step back and look at the larger scale of the picture to determine what you need to improve on. This also applies to your goals. Here and then, look back on your goals and reflect on how much progress you've made. This will help you organize your thoughts and progress, laying the foundation for a more structured development. Now, it's important to remember that your progress may not always feel linear or constant. Some moments, you'll feel as if you're not progressing anymore. But take a look at this. This is the learning curve. The y-axis represents confidence, while the x-axis represents competence. So as you go up, you're increasing in confidence, and as you go down, as you go right, you're increasing in competence. You start at 0, where you know nothing about the subject, so obviously there's no questioning about confidence or competence. And then suddenly, the line skyrockets, and you face the peak of Mount Stupid, where quite stupidly, you're overconfident about your skills because there's a sudden influx of new information coming in. And then your line plummets again to the valley of despair. This is because the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. But don't worry, you'll soon start ascending in confidence again. It's crucial here to persist through this process because soon you'll see your confidence ascending again. While practicing, I constantly evaluated my process, observing my own performances and receiving feedback from my teacher. And identifying such strengths and weaknesses of my progress was really a crucial step in my development. And also, receiving help from a teacher or mentor that will guide you through this is also a great idea. The final step is refining your performance. Apply that reflection from step 4 and refine and practice with purpose until you've mastered your identified weaknesses. The key here is perseverance and consistency. One of my recent goals, as I told you, was mastering a piece I was working on. So to do this, I practiced at least 2 hours each day, trying to master a specific passage for hours on some days. And this definitely paid off, because I was able to make a successful performance. And looking back, I really pushed myself to the limits. I would go to practice rooms after school at midnight, trying to master a passage. And this gave me a great sense of accomplishment, and this led me to progress. And trust me, this hard work definitely paid off, because those 2 hours helped me increase my skills, not only at that moment, but as a player in the long term as well. These 5 steps, reflect, familiarize, set goals, reflect again, and refine, are not rigid rules. They will repeat and overlap countless times throughout your entire journey of discovery and development. But I've accomplished, thanks to these steps, what would have been unimaginable to the 6-year-old me who just started playing the violin. Like, performing in renowned concert halls like Carnegie Hall or Disney Hall, accomplishing rewards from prominent competitions, and taking on leadership roles in different ensemble groups. To close this speech, I would like to encourage you all to discover and develop your own passions, and it does not matter where or when you start. What sparks your interest? What makes you happy? If you're not sure yet, that's perfectly fine. Just begin exploring and trust the process. Your passion might be waiting for you just around the corner. Thank you.